In this video, I want to explain to you the procedures for the final exam in this strange time that we're living. The final exam is worth 50 points. The final exam is multiple choice. The final exam will be open book, open note. The only thing you can't do is talk to other people or get help from other people. But of course, how would I know that? But it's a matter of personal honor and virtue. Remember, cheating and lying is just plain wrong. So you can use the textbook. You can use your notes. You can even go back on here on D2L and spend more time than you should have looking at the video because you should have written down some notes. It's so much easier to access information in print than have to wade through a video, but you can do all that. Basically, you'll be getting this exam the day that your critical analysis is due. I'll be sending it out very early in the morning. You'll have more than 48 hours to complete it. There will be clear directions on the email, and you will be sending me your answers just like you have other assignments as an email attachment. And again, there'll be clear directions. You'll just make sure you type in 1 and put period and make a clear A, B, C, or D or whatever it is. So that's how the final will be done. The final will be out there. I know that we'll never use the final again, and that's okay because I'll never use the final again. I'm just being straight up with you. I actually am retiring after the semester. So I don't care if the information's out there or not. I'm not going to be reusing this test. But I want you to do well. You need to do well. And it's just multiple choice. You'll do it. You'll send it back to me, and it'll all be good. Unlike some classes, I'm telling you what's on it. And you probably want to keep this sheet or have access to it because as you're doing the test, you can do open book. And these are references to all the items in the book. You can read it. I'm not going to insult you. If there's a handout, you know it's on D2L. If it's in the book, well, it's the book. And there's a few handouts mentioned here. And that's exactly how the exam will be handled. You'll get this early in the morning, the day the critical analysis is due. You look at the questions, you type out your answers, just a form of letters. That's all it is. It's multiple choice. That's all it is. Multiple choice. And you can use these pages in the book to actually find the answer. Some of this, you're going to have to think a little bit perhaps with this one and with this one. Definitions of logical fallacies, I almost chucked that because goodness gracious, it's 5 points for just copying definitions, but hopefully you won't screw that up. Much of what you're going to have to do, though, is look at, you can use the book, but you're still going to have to think. It's more of a applying than simply recalling sort of final. But you're going to have to look at logical fallacies. They're stated, these little arguments, and make sure you pick which logical fallacy, things like hasty generalization, etc. Pick the right one. Down here, you'll have a few short arguments. There's 5 points there where you're going to look at it and determine is it inductive or deductive. My goodness, that's a 50-point chance of being right, but don't guess. I mean, if you don't know, you have a 50-point chance of being right, but don't guess. And again, there was a handout that went with that. And then here, this is the part, it's 10 points. It's a little trickier. This is the hardest part. And it's 10 points out of the 50, and you might have wondered, what are we doing with all this DA business, denying the antecedent, AC, affirming the consequent? Well, this is part of what you're doing with it. Again, it's not just to pass the test, but this kind of logic is used in real life. I hope I impressed that on you in previous videos. But you just have to go through and look at that argument and determine whether it's valid. And remember, validity does not mean it's true. It just means it's logical. There can be this one answer, and that's it. It doesn't mean it's true. Don't confuse those. That's a major problem. You can have perfectly valid statements that are utterly stupid. But to reinforce these ideas, that's what's on the exam. There will be another video that will be posted where I'll give you the answers and some further elaboration for this item, which is on D2L. Review exercises for the final. So you get to go through that and apply this. The ones that require much thought, especially, I didn't do any of the logical fallacies because it's cumbersome, and I think that's more straightforward. If it's not, it should be. Whereas down here, this can get a little gnarly, I know. And I'll explain this later on, exactly what's going on in these items, but you do your best with it. And write down your answers, or type down your answers, or do something with your answers. In the next video, I'll give you the correct answer and explain it. I wish you all well. I hope it all goes super well for you. So hang in there. We haven't got much more to go, and we'll get it done, and we'll remember the spring of 2020 for all its weirdness and hopefully your accomplishment. So I'll catch you somewhere further down the line. Be safe, stay out of trouble, and God bless you.